Every country has its moment. It's time to shine.
When the universe conspires, planets align.
Scotland invites you, our stage is set.
For one brilliant year we'll never forget.
A homecoming to celebrate all that we are. Countless events, parties near and far.
We welcome the world to come and to share, so you too can say, yes, I was there.
Good morning and welcome to the International Hockey Centre here in Glasgow. It's day 3 of the Women's Champions Challenge 1, brought to you live and exclusive on FIH TV. I'm Jack McGill and I'll be taking you through today's 4 matches. Let's take a look at what's today. So the day starts with Spain against South Africa. That's followed in Pool B by the United States against Ireland. And then we turn to Pool A and Korea against Scotland. And finishing off the day, India against Belgium. Yesterday we saw the men's 4 Nations tournament conclude with Belgium crowned as champions after defeating Argentina on penalties. And then England and Scotland faced off to bring that to a conclusion under glorious warm sunshine. Well, I regret to inform you that today's weather has taken a decided turn for the worst, and the Belgian and the Spanish rather and South African ladies in front of me are going to play out today's match in considerably colder conditions than yesterday. I'm delighted to welcome Craig Madden, who's here joining me in the commentary box for today's match. Spain and South Africa had slightly contrasting fortunes up until now. Craig, what are you expecting from today's match?
Well, certainly, good morning, by the way, to a rather chilly Glasgow.
Yes, and to you.
I think South Africa will certainly be looking for a win. They've performed really quite well. They've got
well, they started their campaign with a win against the United States.
Yeah, they started
coming back from a goal down.
Yeah, it was a traditional game of 2 halves in which the United States completely dominated the first half, but paid the penalty for only 1 goal by half time. South Africa came back, scored 2 really quite magnificent goals, and that actually could be crucial to the destiny of this particular pool.
And in the second game, Craig, against Ireland, South Africa started the game brilliantly, but then faded in the second half and really were victim to a very spirited Irish comeback. That game finished 2-2.
Yeah, I think, again, I wonder if South Africa's problem is trying to play the 70 minutes in a consistent fashion. They seem to ebb and flow, and when they're going forward, they look extremely dangerous, but at times they seem to lose concentration, and certainly against Ireland, lost 2 points where they should have, in fact, bagged 3.
And Spain, by contrast, haven't had a great tournament so far. They've managed to eke out a draw, but in their opening game, defeated 3-1. You haven't been particularly impressed by them yet?
I think Spain are in a bit of a transition. They failed to make the London Olympics. They haven't qualified for the World Cup in a month's time in the Netherlands. And even in this tournament, they haven't really impressed. They lost 3-1 to the United States, and that was a fair result. They totally dominated the game against Ireland, defended extremely well, and then in the last 10 minutes completely lost concentration, lost 2 goals, and they came away with the only point that they've in fact got.
Well, let's take a look at the tables as they stand. Pool A, of course, you can see Korea on top, Scotland in second place by virtue of goal difference over Belgium after their 4-0 victory over India on on Monday. India propping up the group at the bottom. And in Pool B, South Africa, our featured team this morning, top of the group with 4 points with that win and draw. The United States and Ireland, and then Spain at the bottom of Pool B at the moment. So the teams are lined up in front of us. We'll be waiting for the national anthems, and then we'll run you through the team sheets for this morning's match. Before the national anthems, though, Carlota Pichami receives a bouquet of flowers to celebrate her 50th cap for Spain. Congratulations to her. Warmly applauded by both teams, which is nice to see.
Many, many congratulations again to Carlota. And hopefully many more caps to come as well. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem. Please be standing for the national anthem of Spain.
So first, the national anthem of Spain. Very jaunty start to the day. Now the national anthem of South Africa. So the teams shake hands and conclude the pre-match formalities. Let's just run you through the team sheets for today, starting with Spain. So the starting lineup for Spain: in goals, Lopez. Number 3, Ibarra. Number 5, Gutierrez. Number 7, Pichami, who you saw receiving her bouquet of flowers for her 50th cap. Number 9, Lopez. Number 10, Banastre. Number 14, Tost. Number 17, Riera. Number 21, Perez. Number 23, Oliva. And number 25, Gomez. And their coach is Adrian Locke. And for South Africa, captain number 8, Marsha Cox. Number 10, Shelley Russell. Number 11, Marcel Manson. Number 12, Dirkie Chamberlain. Number 13, Lisa Marie Dietlefs. Number 18, Anel van Deventer. Number 21, Lenice Moraes. Number 23, Bernadette Costin. Number 29, Taryn Bright. Number 30, Soulette Dammons. And number 31, Celia Evans. And their coach, Giles Bunny. So the teams go into their huddles. They're ready for pushback. And we're ready for another 70 minutes of exciting world-class hockey. Day 3 of the FIH Champions Challenge 1. It's Spain and South Africa, live and exclusive on FIH TV. So Spain get us off to the start, going from left to right. And Craig, how do you think these two teams will approach the opening stages of this match?
Will take the game to Spain. They'll be wanting to get 2 or 3 goals up, because 3 points here will give South Africa a very good opportunity of coming top of the pool in competition with perhaps the United States. Spain, I think it's very important for Spain that they manage to contain the South Africans. They'll go in confidence, I think, if they can reach half-time on a level basis. And certainly if they defend as well as they did for most of the game against Ireland, then that might be a possibility. But lapses in concentration cost Spain dearly in their last match.
So Spain with the possession early on down the right-hand side. Lopez and Tost combining. But the release ball down the right coming to nothing. Possession exchanging hands back and forward there. Craig, no team really taking control of the first few minutes of this match, but South Africa now with the chance into the D.
Yes, Jack, I think that it's going to be nervy for the first 10 or 15 minutes. Spain have had at least one, if not 2, rather crude tackles, so they perhaps better watch out for that.
So as the game finds its rhythm, good chance for us to remind you that today's coverage is brought to you by Scottish Hockey and their event partners, Glasgow Life, Event Scotland, NCS, Ginger Grouse, Hero and the Government of Argentina. And as South Africa attack down this left-hand side, into the D, chance, and a great save by the keeper there with the left foot outstretched. First real chance of the game, Craig.
Yes, I think that should have been put away, although the goalkeeper had really a fantastic save. A team of South Africa's prominence should be able to put that ball away. A real let-off for Spain there.
Good reactions by the goalkeeper Lopez, and now Spain's chance to counter down the right-hand side with Tost. Back to Lopez. And all the way back. I think Spain, Craig, will be happy to play a patient game in this first half, given the experiences of their first 2 matches.
Absolutely. They'll want to contain the South Africans, and as I said before, if they can reach the 20-minute mark or better still half-time on level terms, then they'll have done a good job in the first half.
Here's a 2-on-2 now with Dirkie Chamberlain down the right-hand side, reverse stick into the D. Unable to find Dammons. But South Africa will retain possession down that right-hand side, and here's Chamberlain again. And that ball taking a deflection off the head of the Spanish player, I think. Came off her stick first, Craig, and onto her head.
Yes, it was. She tried to tackle, put her stick down. The ball ricocheted off her stick and hit her accidentally on the head. Complete accident. But I think Spain are going to have to watch. As I said before, they've had a couple of rough tackles, and the Lithuanian umpire has already made her displeasure felt on the last one there.
So Lola Riera recovers from that bump to the head. She's a game girl. She's going to battle on. And here's Dietlefs now for South Africa. Into the middle, and the ball spread across to the far side of the pitch for Terre Blanche. Seen a couple of nasty head injuries over the course of the women's tournament here in Glasgow for both India and for Ireland. As you would expect from an Irish defender, though, bandaged up and back out the next day without any problems at all. Terre Blanche again battling in the midfield for South Africa, and the ball comes out to Marais on this left-hand side. South Africa, though, happy to bide their time, wait for the opportunity. And the first time touch into the D there, Craig, not coming to anything.
No, I don't know whether this is, Jack, going to be a pattern of the game, but Spain have hardly been in South Africa's half at all, while South Africa are exerting more and more pressure on the Spanish defence. They haven't had a breakthrough yet, but it's definitely a pattern that's emerging.
Stick tackle punished there, and again, and Spain find a little bit of space to breathe, but yes, South Africa playing with Chamberlain, Duplessis and Dammons pressing high up the pitch. And there's the irrepressible Marsha Cox in the centre of the pitch, breaking up play for South Africa, but Spain have it back. Can they find a release down this right-hand side? Tossed again, looking for the opportunity. She comes off and Guinea comes on. South Africa have played back, a little reverse stick inside there from Cox, finds Dammons. Terre Blanche looking for space down that right-hand side, it won't come to her. Instead it comes to Kathleen Taylor. She's penalised for that push just on the edge of the D, and Spain find the opportunity to counter-attack, but South Africa with plenty of numbers back. And Lisa Marie Dietlefs just able to let that one run out of play harmlessly, allowing South Africa to take their positions again and come out from the back with Marais and Dietlefs. Dietlefs on the ball just now, and she finds, oh, almost found the outlet down the right, Craig.
Yes, Spain are going to have to be a bit careful because Solette Dammons is a lethal finisher, and if they're going to survive the first half and keep a blank sheet, they're going to have to keep their tabs on her.
Yes, indeed. And South Africa have another opportunity to exert pressure on Spain.
Guinea was a little bit lucky there. She just knocked the ball away. The umpire certainly noticed it and made her displeasure known, but you better not do that again.
You can always tell the umpire's displeasure by the sharpness of the whistle, I find. Was that the case in your day as well, Craig?
Oh yes, well, I use my personality and then the cards as a last resort.
Here comes South Africa with a free hit. Comes back to Manson. And again, but David's unable to make anything of that, and Spain will come away with the free hit inside 16. And once again, Spain pressed back inside the 23. Lillian du Plessis doing a lot of running for South Africa, back and forward, trying to keep the pressure on Spain. Oh. And, Magath unceremoniously dumped onto the ground there, gives Spain the free hit. Ibarra plays the ball back to Lopez and back across the back line, but Spain not under any particular pressure there, making the error, gives South Africa the chance to run at them again down the right-hand side. And it's Cox now with a free hit. Kathleen Taylor in there, Shelley Russell, of course, as well.
I think after 10 minutes, the Spanish coach, Adrian Locke, will be the happier of the two, because Spain have kept the South Africans out of their circle, with one exception, and that's a job fairly well done at the moment.
So Spain now with a little bit of space in midfield, good skills there from Guinea to find some space out to the left-hand side. It will have to come back. It's going to come all the way across to Lopez here on the right-hand side. Immediately put under pressure by Lillian du Plessis. Back out to Lopez now in the right. There's space in the middle if they can find it. Here's Ibarra. Back out onto the touchline where Pinheiro will bring it back in. And back to Lopez. Lopez into the middle. Comes off a South African stick. And Dirkie Chamberlain able just to relieve the pressure there on South Africa. It's a bit better from Spain, Craig, showing a little bit more enterprise.
Yes, I think that although they didn't get a shot in, they're now beginning to appear as an attacking force. And they really need to do this because although Spain are the underdogs in this game, if they're going to make any headway up that league table, they need to collect 3 points in this game.
Did they do? If you have your opinion at home on this game and what Spain need to do to get a result against South Africa, then you can get in touch with us via Twitter. We'd be delighted to hear from you. You can reach us at FIH_hockey, and the hashtag for the tournament is CC1, Champions Challenge 1, CC1. So please do tweet us, and over the course of today's coverage, we'll see if we can get the best of your comments into the coverage. Now, Spain with a free hit. And a rare opportunity for them to attack South Africa. Hit directly into the box. Deflected on its way through. And cleared by Van Deventer in goals for South Africa. Back it comes though, Spain retain possession. Down the line on the left to Magath. Magath now coming inside, but dispossessed. And Shelley Russell can bring it out now. Silette Damons trying to just find the reverse ball back to Shelley Russell there, but not quite coming off. And Spain will come again. And that ball rattled off the backside of Shelley Russell. I'm sure she felt that one, Craig.
I'm sure she did. She'll pay more attention next time.
South Africa again down this right-hand side. Now a bit of space for Celeste Dammons as she breaks into the box. There's space on the far side. Bernadette Costin in acres of space coming down this left-hand side for South Africa, but she wasn't spotted. And the shot goes wide, and Spain now have the chance to come out. Now here's some space down the right-hand side. It's Oliva down this right-hand side. Good skills just to find a yard of space. Can she get the ball into the middle? Under pressure from Taryn Bright there, and the South African does well. Free hit to Spain. Driven into the middle. Some space at the far post. But unfortunately, Magath unable to control the ball, and now South Africa come away again. And it's Cox, the captain, driving into the D. She's blocked off, and Spain can bring it away. So the game's starting to open up a bit, Craig, stretching a little bit, more space appearing down the flanks.
Yes, I think that the early nerves have begun to disappear. The game's still tight, but there's a much more in the way of circle penetrations. We've had a couple of shots, but still no goals.
Good skills there from Magath, driving towards the South African D. But, outnumbered, and that's slack in the middle there from Bernadette Costin, putting her own midfield under pressure. Taryn Bright just showing a little bit of composure to bring it away. Here's Costin again on the left. Looking for space down this left-hand wing. Terre Blanche swapping sides. She started the game on the right. She's now moved across the left. But once again, an attack comes to nothing, and Spain have found some space down the right. And it's Salvatella breaking into the D and playing it off the foot of Taryn Bright, and that is a short corner to Spain. So very much against the run of play, you might say, but Spain have definitely been coming back into it, and this is reward for that.
Yes, I think Spain have upped their game a bit. It was a bit of a soft penalty corner, came off the foot of the South African defender.
Just coming off the heel of Taryn Bright there. Yeah.
But this is Spain's big opportunity, but they'll have to do well. Van Demeter, who is in the South African goal, has had a very, very good tournament so far. So it's going to have to be a fairly brisk shot to find the net.
So short corner out to the edge of the D. Oh, and a bit of a mix-up there. Oh. That was Lola Riera on the edge of the D, just slipping at the crucial moment. Oliva back into the D, and out now from the long corner. Spain back in the edge of the D, looking for the opening. It isn't there. Cox can bring it away for South Africa. And if in doubt, get it out, and that's what Cox did there, just relieving the pressure in South Africa. And now the pressure on Spain as South Africa maintain that high line, pushing back into the 23. Once again, they're looking to Lopez for the outlet down the right-hand side, but they have to go back into their own D and restart. This time they look for space down the left. It's back into Riera in the middle. And her return ball back out finds only the touchline, which gives South Africa an opportunity. Here's Davids into the middle. Spain under pressure. And again, just that miscontrol, Craig, just coming out down the wings. They're giving, not allowing themselves to relieve the pressure, and South Africa able just to retain possession and come back at them again.
Yes, but to be fair to the Spanish, they are defending quite well. They did that extremely well for the majority of the game against Ireland.
There's a ball deflected up into the air, so that will be the...
But I just have the feeling that Spain are not going to get many chances up front against the South African defence. And it's a little unfortunate they wasted the penalty corner, which ended up as a bit of a comedy of errors when the Spanish forwards slipped and then tried to play the ball on the ground. But it was easily dealt with.
Carlotta Pachami there trying to just accelerate the pace of that attack from Spain. Her first time ball goes out. And South Africa looking to come away with it, but the ball is back with Spain now, down this right-hand side. And it's Gomez just losing control. Deep lefts down in that left back position, just able to let the ball run out of play. Again, it's Lopez on the right. Lopez, I would say, Craig, is the go-to girl, if you like, for Spain down this right-hand side. She's the one they look to for the outlet when they're under pressure.
Yes, and she's created a few openings. Unfortunately, apart from that penalty corner, Spain have not really had any good opportunities in the circle.
There's a little bit of space on this right-hand side at the moment. Pachami moves across to the left to try and take that ball, but to no avail. And it's Marcel Manson able to bring it away for South Africa. She'll go all the way back. There's Cox in the middle, such an experienced captain for South Africa. Spain now looking again to this right-hand side. It's Ibarra down the right. She's tackled. Lopez now. The middle, switching sides. Where's the support down the left-hand side? There it is.
I think the game's developed into a much more even contest. South Africa are having difficulty in penetrating the Spanish defence, but yet are fairly comfortable at the back, apart from that penalty corner about 5 or 6 minutes ago. An opportunity there for Maria Gomez. She made a good run up the right wing there, but they lost control of the ball and it simply went over the back line. The game seems to be developing into a little bit of a stalemate between the two 23-metre lines at the moment. Similar situation for Bernadette Costin there. Good opportunity to penetrate the circle, but she just lost control of the ball and allowed the Spanish defence, who are in a bit of disarray at the moment, to clear.
Just saw the South African coach, Gilles Bonnet, on your screen. Looking slightly frustrated, I would have said, Craig.
Yes. He will be disappointed that his team have not created more chances. They've had a couple of shots at goal, but really have created very little in the way of clear-cut chances. Because really, if they're going to top this group, they're going to have to win this game.
Our director giving us a rather hopeful replay of that last South African chance, but in truth, Craig, very, very little for us to highlight from this first half so far. And, Spain come away with it again down the left-hand side. Good skills from Perez on that far side. She's earned a free hit. Spain with a chance now to get numbers forward. The ball be driven into the D. There's the touch. Gomez there with a half chance and a long corner. Comes back out to Pons. She's not able to make anything of it, and another Spanish attack breaks down.
Yes, I think the Spain's most dangerous tactic is that direct hit into the circle, looking for a deflection, either hopefully off their own player into the goal, but if by the defender, to gain a long corner.
So here's the space now for South Africa. Taylor driving through the middle. Again, Bernadette costing loads of space down this left-hand side, not picked by her teammate. And Spain now with the ball inside their own D. Taylor, Dammons, Chamberlain all applying pressure. Shelley Russell as well, but she's evaded by Perez. Spain come away with Pons in the centre. For Guinea down this right-hand side. Looking to get on with the game quickly, but umpire calls her back. And the first time deflection into the box, it's a chance and it's a goal! My words, from nothing, Craig, a hopeful ball into the D. It gets a kind deflection for Spain, an unkind deflection for South Africa, loops over Van Deventer into the South African goal. Let's take a look at it again on the replay. The South African players unhappy, and we'll take a look at it again on our replay as the umpires are deciding. It was the dive by Maria Gomez across the D.
I think what the South Africans are complaining about is that their opinion is that the ball came off their defender's stick.
And not that of the attacker's
stick.
Well,
and it's very, very difficult from an umpiring point of view because the ball is so fast into the circle, but that is the nature of their complaint. The two umpires will now consult. I'm not sure that the disengaged umpire from New Zealand is actually going to be able to help a great deal, given that she was at the halfway line.
Yeah.
But
yes, the angle at which she was looking at that was actually from behind. And the goal has been given. The goal will stand. Let's see if we could take just another quick look at that. If we can have a look at the replay, we can see the ball driven in there from distance. We've just missed it on that camera. We may be able to see it on one of the other cameras. From behind, driven in from distance, and we can see here Gomez dives across. It's very difficult to see from that angle any reason why not to give the goal, but
Goal for Spain, making it 1-0, number 25, Maria Gomez.
But the goal will stand. The umpire's decision is final, and Spain have an unlikely lead that is unlikely to improve the mood on the South African bench.
But again, as I said a few minutes before, the Spanish tactic of hitting that long ball into the circle created danger before, and now, of course, created the goal. The South African defence will have to be a bit more wary to that particular tactic.
Again, just as Craig indicated a second ago, Spain once again trying that long driven ball into the D. And it's Maranya who's on the ball. First we've really seen of her in this half, Craig.
No, not at all. I have a lot of sympathy with the umpires. I remember when I was umpiring, the straight hit into the circle, which ricocheted off several players' stick. Almost impossible to tell whether it was an attacker or a defender.
Spain again, finding a bit of momentum off the back of their goal. And it's Pinheiro down this right-hand side again. Persisting with the right wing as their opportunity to get into the South African D. And applying the pressure here in the corner. Kelly Madsen doing just enough to get herself out of trouble. And Dietlefs clears long down the left touchline to Evans. Evans dispossessed though. And Toast able to play back to Maragna, and Maragna clears. And that's a lovely touch by Pinheiro into the middle, and now Toast can bring it away again in the middle. Then he loses out, and now South Africa on the counter-attack. Spain with plenty of numbers back again though. The ball comes into the middle. Dammons just unable to control it. And Maragna again away.
Do you not notice, Jack, a little spring in the step of the Spanish players after that goal? Certainly do, Craig. Big difference in, I think, as much their confidence as anything else. Oh, I think completely. They've taken a lead, perhaps against the run of play, but nonetheless, they're 1 goal up. But here comes South Africa. Evans on the left-hand side finds Davids. Davids turns, gets away from Oliver Marker and can play it towards the D. It's Duplessis now, driving into the middle. Back to Davids. They attempt a cross goal. Again, well defended by South Africa. There's a little foot there. That'll be the free hit. Rather speculative ball in. Is deflected away for the long corner. Now it's 3v4, it's 4v4 if Tost can be found on this right hand side. She can, but Spain keep possession with a free hit, and with fewer rather than 5 minutes to go. Spain in no hurry to take this. I have to say, I thought that was a rather rash first-time ball down the left wing there from the Spanish left-back. Not really necessary at this stage of the half. No, I simply gave away possession, but I certainly detect an outbreak of frustration in the South African team. So a rather crude challenge that on the edge of the D. Gutierrez looks to the umpire disbelievingly, trying to plead innocence, but I don't think she had much of a defence there. And that foul on Shelley Russell as she drove towards the Spanish D gives the South Africans a chance of parity. I don't think innocence is the word I would use there, Jack. I think it was quite a deliberate and rather poor tackle, and the umpire quite correctly gives a penalty corner. South Africa's chance to get back into the game. They will certainly want to be no less than on level terms by the interval. So the injection to top of the D, and not sure what happened there, Craig. Yes, maybe just a little too early, just reacting a little too early. Yeah, she went into the circle before the ball was injected, so she goes to the halfway line. Shelley Russell back to the halfway line, and we go again. And there's the shot and a goal. And that was Dietlefs from the edge of the D driving the ball in, and I think a small deflection in on the left-hand post. Let's take a look at it again. I think possibly just the goalkeeper not getting a hand to that shot. I think it came off the defender on the line. It looked like that, but it was a well-worked penalty corner, and it was a strong shot. So it's all to play for now with the South Africans back on level terms.
So Lisa Marie Dietlefs will be credited with that goal. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see it again at an opportune moment, but for now Spain are back in possession with Toast, and Maranya again down this left-hand side, being asked to relieve the pressure for Spain, and that's rather robust stick tackle, I have to say, there by Pons, number 6 for Spain. Evans limps away, but Spain have possession. They're going to drive it into the D again, and they'll get a long corner out on this right-hand side. And it's Pinheiro to take it back into Pons. Another good bit of defence by South Africa there, all back in numbers. Spain back into their own half. Diamond hurdles the ball. Spain go back out to the left, just a slight slip on the turn. Guinea driving in, and she wins the short corner. Let's take a look at that again. There's Adrian Locke on the touchline. So you can see there slightly unfortunate for the South African defender there, but
I think
Guinea has won them a short corner.
I think the award was given for the ball coming off the stick and was considered to be dangerous. That's what it looked like to me.
So Guinea, having won the short corner, will now inject this. Here comes the ball. Tost lays it off. It's Maranya with the shot.
The umpire has indicated that the infringement by the Spanish players was obstruction, third man obstruction, or whatever you want to call it, and that's why she's disallowed the penalty corner opportunity.
Well, the hooter goes at the end of a half that has swung backwards and forwards. No doubt, Craig, that South Africa in the ascendancy in the early part of that half, unable to find a breakthrough. Spain capitalising on a tactic that they've tried 2 or 3 times. And then South Africa probably deservedly grabbing a goal back just towards the end of the half.
I think that at the end of the 35 minutes, I'm pretty certain that the Spanish coach will be the happier of the two. His side are still on level terms, and you know, they've been. South Africa have certainly had the majority of the play. It's, I think, unfortunate for the Spanish that they weren't able to hold on to their lead to the half-time, but there's no doubt in my mind that South Africa are definitely the more dangerous team, but it's a fairly even contest at the moment, and if we remember South Africa's previous games, their second half was stronger than their first half.
Well, it's delicately poised here at the Glasgow Green International Hockey Centre, where at half-time it's Spain 1, South Africa 1.
The buzz is just unbelievable just now. It's back in my hometown in Trin, everybody's talking about it, and just hopefully I can be part of that Scotland team, and if I am, it will be a memory I'll never forget.
Since joining Scottish Gymnastics, to compete at the Commonwealth Games, it's going to be my first Commonwealth Games, and no better place to do it than in our home country.
Commonwealth Games are really the only time you get to represent like Scotland on its own, and yeah, it's really special. It's like your own little family really when you're on the team. Go Scotland!
Do you know what? I don't think there'll be anything to beat it. You know, I competed at the London Olympics and that was really special, but Glasgow I think will just be something else. Go Scotland!
very important to have the backing of the community, the country and that. I'd like folk to get behind you and enjoy what you're doing and appreciate what you do, Ken. That's what I hard work's for. Go Team Scotland!
I think it's really important that people back Team Scotland. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for everyone to come together and support the team.
There's obviously going to be a great buzz around the city, and we're really looking forward to having the spectators come out and see netball. Netball's not one of the most profile sports that we've got here, so we're really looking forward to seeing how we can really engage with the spectators and show what netball's all about. Go Scotland!
Oh, the support will be huge. If everyone turns up, it's going to be a great atmosphere. There's nothing better than playing on a badminton court with the whole crowd all behind you. It's a really great feeling, and I really hope to experience it.
Being from Glasgow myself, nothing more that you want to do in your career. Homegrown, in your city, all your friends, family can all come and watch. There's nothing really more you want. Go Scotland!
Being in judo, it's an individual sport, but when you're in that fight and if you're down the score, if you just need that extra lift. With Glasgow 2014 coming up and the massive Scottish team that we're going to have in Glasgow, it feels like a family. Go Scotland!
It's a huge honour and it's a pinnacle of anyone's career. I was fortunate enough to play back in Melbourne a few years ago now, where the whole experience was incredible. I'm sure that Glasgow can look to emulate that.
The atmosphere in Delhi was great, even when we're halfway across the world. So to imagine what it's going to be like in Glasgow when we're in front of a home crowd, it's going to be twice as good. Go Scotland!
This will be my first games, and it'll be a home game. So for me, it's as much as it's a cliche, it will be a dream come true. And just to have that support and to have my family and friends support me at home games, it means everything to me. Go Scotland!
Every country has its moment. It's time to shine.
When the universe conspires, planets align.
Scotland invites you, our stage is set.
For one brilliant year we'll never forget.
A homecoming to celebrate all that we are. Countless events, parties near and far.
We welcome the world to come and to share, so you too can say, yes, I was there.
So welcome back to the International Hockey Centre in Glasgow, where at half-time the score is Spain 1, South Africa 1 in this all-important Women's Champions Challenge tie. Craig Madden is still with me here in the commentary box, and Craig, as we were saying just before the break there, South Africa would have been frustrated to go in 1-0 down, but Spain similarly would have been frustrated to have conceded that late goal, having taken the advantage.
Yes, I think it's frustration all round. South Africa will be disappointed that they're not ahead, but quite frankly, they don't deserve to be ahead. Spain have defended really quite well. They've picked up a goal, which was perhaps unexpected, but it's a bit of a group from hell, this, because South Africa really need to win this game in order to ensure the possibility of top place. Spain also need to win because they won't want to end up in fourth place, where they'll be playing possibly Korea, who are the strongest team in the competition in the quarter-finals.
Well, let's just take a look at the groups as not as they stand with this result as it stands in this game, but let's take a look at the groups going into today's match. There you can see Pool B are our matches this morning, and South Africa just that point ahead of the United States. And the game later that follows this one between the United States and Ireland, Craig, takes on huge significance because Ireland have showed a tremendous amount of fight to come back in both of their previous matches, and the United States, having started well, then capitulated rather badly to South Africa in their second game. So both of those teams will be looking for a win later today.
Oh, absolutely. And they then, Jack, need to they'll know what they need to do, because they will know already the result between Spain and South Africa. But United States against Ireland is going to be an extremely difficult game to call. The Irish are a very stuffy outfit. They've played pretty well. They've stuck to their guns, and they've shown a lot of character in coming back in games. United States had a very good win against Spain, but had a poor second half against South Africa the other day. This is a very, very difficult one to call. They're two teams very close to each other on the world rankings, and it could be an absolutely fascinating contest.
Let's take a look at the other fixtures coming up later today. We have a packed schedule of matches for you in this Women's Champions Challenge. As we said, Pool B's match between the United States and Ireland is the next match up. And then in the afternoon, in Pool A, of course, we have Korea against Scotland, the two teams at the top of Pool A. And finishing off later on this afternoon, India, Belgium. So United States, Ireland is the game at 11:30. That's British summer time. It's 10:30 GMT if you're watching abroad. Korea, Scotland at 2 p.m. UK time, and then 4 p.m. for the final game UK time. So just bear that in mind. If you're watching from abroad. Here's the goals, Craig, from the first half. It was Spain's goal to begin with. Gomez with that diving effort. I think if we can watch from that, we'll try and get that same angle again if the director will allow us. There's the reverse angle from behind the goal. And no evidence from that angle, certainly, that it was the South African defender with the final touch. Let's see it from this angle again. Here it comes into the box. Into the D. Was that the first angle? It was the first angle. I was here. Here we go. This is the one we're looking for. So there's the deflection into the D. Gomez running across. Oh, actually,
I'm not at all convinced, I have to say, Jack. It's a very, very difficult one to call. The ball was close to both players, and it could have touched the stick of either, frankly.
And here's the short corner for South Africa. Dietlev's on the edge of the D with a very powerful shot, and between goalkeeper and defender, unable to stop the ball, just creeping into that bottom left-hand corner. So half-time, it's 1-1. The teams are back out for the second half now. In fact, that goal's being credited to Madsen, Kelly Madsen, who must have got the last touch on that, which was not immediately apparent from the replay. And the Spain goal, of course, being credited to Gomez, although Kanita Bobs, the South African defender, I think possibly had a small case to the umpire. Anyway, South Africa going from left to right in the second half. Get us underway. And Craig and I will see you through to full time. South Africa immediately on the attack into the D. But that breaks down, and Bonastra able to clear the danger. Maranya again in that right back position for Spain. Called into action several times towards the end of that first half, and really showed that she's quite a physical presence in the back line for Spain. Spain again have the ball in the midfield. Tossed coming away with it. Can she? Looking for the space down this left-hand side. Here's Lopez, so often the outlet for Spain in the first half. She's unable to find Pachami in the box, and South Africa will have the ball, and it's Dammons showing good pace to get past one marker, past two markers. Can she get into the middle? Just off balance. Such a threat, Solette Dammons. Here she is again on the ball. Just a little bit scrappy in the middle, but Spain come away. And it's Georgina Oliva who finds Pachami down this left-hand side. Little clip off the heel of Dietlef's there, gives Spain the free hit. Bonastra takes over, trying to drive into the South African D. Unsuccessful, and Dammons now, a mishit there from Dammons, gives possession to Perez, and now Spain come again. This time switching the play to Tost on the right-hand side, and back to Maranya.
The thing about Dammons is not just her stick skills or determination, but her pace. She's frequently creating goals by simply outrunning other defenders. She's definitely one to watch.
I don't know if you were at these matches, Craig, 2 years ago here in Glasgow. Last time South Africa were here, and they played Scotland in a series of test matches at Titwood, which I know is your home club, and mine in a cricketing capacity, not in a hockey capacity. I've never held a hockey stick in my life. But Dammons on that particular occasion that week was very impressive. And can you cast your mind that far back?
Only vaguely, Jack. But you're absolutely right. They came and they played, I think, 5 matches at Clydesdale. And she was certainly one to watch. I was so impressed by her pace. She created dangerous situations and scored a few goals, I think. I honestly can't remember. But
she certainly did, I think. I think QTV Sports used one of them perhaps in their show reel. So impressive was it. But yes, Dammons certainly a threat, and of course the other player on that particular occasion that showed such steel was the South African captain, then Marcia Maresca, now Marcia Cox, of course. And she's been very much in evidence over the first couple of days here at the Women's Champions Challenge. So South Africa back on the attack, and they've found some space with Kathleen Taylor in the middle. Be taken back for the free hit outside the D, of course. It can't come straight into the D. Du Plessis trying to turn and play the ball into the middle, but South Africa will have to come back. Dietlef's now out to the right-hand side.
We've talked about the threat of Dammons, but of course South Africa are missing the world's leading goal scorer, who unfortunately is not here due to injury, Pietie Kwietsa. Whether South Africa would still be one each at this stage against Spain if she was on the pitch is quite another matter.
And the short corner, and again, Spaniards with a lot to say about that. Let's take a look at that incident again. It was Evans driving into the D this time. Slips the ball through to Dirkie Chamberlain, and just off the foot of Ibarra there.
I think Ibarra is jumping up and down, not at frustration at the decision, but frustration of herself conceding the penalty corner. To me, there was absolutely no doubt it was a correct award.
So Evans with the injection across the far side of the pitch, just underneath the scoreboard for South Africa. The South Africans wait. Shot and goal! No, not given. Off the foot, says the umpire, and Spain come away with a break. Maranya down the right-hand side. That's well controlled on the right-hand side by Pachami. Toss now takes up the attack in the corner. Muscled out of it by Marcel Manson, and South Africa can come away. Let's take a look at that short corner again. So we can see Evans with the injection. Trapped by Moraes. And the umpire quite clear there that...
I think the ball came off the stick of, sorry, the foot of the South African attacker. I can't actually make out who it is.
I think it was Kathleen Taylor.
Kathleen Taylor. She was there, I think, to deflect it into the goals, but unfortunately it was her foot and not her stick that made contact with the ball.
Well, here comes South Africa again. They've got some space. Again, Evans finding space down that left-hand side, driving into the D. Comes to nothing. Gomez now for Spain. Little flick down the right, but not really to anybody in particular, just to get herself out of trouble, and Manson can spread the ball back to Dietlefs. And it'll come back to Dietlefs, anchoring that South African defence so ably. Now Shelley Russell, great skills down the right. She drives into the middle, cuts inside, looks for a reverse stick into the D. She looks for the shot. Oh, and just wide of the post from Shelley Russell. Great skills, Craig, from Shelley Russell.
Yes, that was a remarkable penetrating run. She was allowed to go all the way from this side of the 23-metre line into the circle, and she was allowed to get her shot in. Unfortunately, it went wide, but this definitely a renewed initiative in the South African team, and Spain look like they're going to have to defend in depth to keep the scoreline as it is.
I think we should say, in fairness to Lopez in goal, that she had that one comfortably covered, I think. But very incisive from Shelley Russell. Now Cox has the ball. That's off the foot. She'll get the free hit. And out to Manson. And back to Russell down that right, starting to make her presence felt. Duplessis forced into the corner. She can bring it out. Here's Marcia Cox, the captain, looking for a similar run to Shelley Russell's across the D. Spain unable to relieve the pressure, and here's Duplessis again. Into the D, there's a foot on the ball, but just outside the D, so that'll come back to Cox and back in again. Duplessis with a reverse stick shot. And that's
perhaps
deemed dangerous by the umpire.
Yeah,
there,
it was
Craig.
a complete miscue. She was trying to strike it in one direction, it went high in the other direction, and it was considered dangerous. But what is also dangerous are South Africa's waves of attacks that are coming up this right-hand side. And you just have the feeling that eventually this is going to lead to a goal.
Spain, certainly through the centre of defence, have been resolute up until now. But as you say, Craig, sometimes you feel momentum can often take a team home. We'll see if that's the case with South Africa. They've certainly started the second half very brightly. And Manson again with the ball to Duplessis down this right-hand side. Spain scrapping away, looking for a way out. The flick forward. Can Pinheiro do anything with it? She keeps possession. Oh, and I suspect that might be a card coming out for the South African midfielder. It's a green card. I think quite a deliberate attempt there by Marcel Manson to disrupt the Spanish attack. Magath had seen the space on the right-hand side and was looking for a quick counter-attack.
Yeah, so it was a rather crude attempt at stick interference, and quite rightly given a green card.
Manson takes her place on the naughty step for the next couple of minutes.
The way that the trend of the game at the moment is that Spain have drifted out of the game as an attacking force and seem perhaps more content to defend in depth against the early waves of the South African attacks. But South Africa seem to have the ability to step it up in the second half. We'll see whether that continues in this game or not.
A couple of substitutions for Spain there. Gutierrez coming on, and Maranya, who's been on for quite some time, taking a breather. So an opportunity for Spain to play a little bit of hockey in South Africa's half. We haven't seen a tremendous amount of that in the second half so far. And again, spreading the play across the field to Lopez. Pons battling hard in midfield with Cox. But the South African captain comes up on top, and now Duplessis driving towards South African D. That's a foul, and Lopez can bring it away. Pons again, losing out in midfield. Cox maybe rather uncharacteristically giving away possession cheaply there in the midfield, allowing Spain to spread the play across to the right-hand side and away. And that's Salvatella with the drive down the right-hand side. Pinheiro now for Spain. Slightly misplaced pass. Puts her midfield under possession, and that's a cheap way to allow the pressure to be relieved on South Africa, Craig.
Yes, that's right. But South Africa, of course, are now back to 11 players. Manson's back on the pitch, having served her 2 minutes in the sin bin. So it'll be interesting to see if...
Salvatella across! Was that a... Oh... Let's have a look at that again. I was ready to shout goal there, Craig.
I thought it was too.
Salvatella, reverse stick. She's inside the D. There's a little touch, and it comes off the post and wide. I think off the leg, perhaps, though, as well. So South Africa come out with the ball. And again, back to Dietlefs, the starting point for South Africa's attacks. Long ball down the middle, that's an excellent ball, and it's found its target. It's all the way through to Kathleen Taylor. Unable to capitalise. Well, if that was intended, Craig, that was a super ball, the length of the pitch to Kathleen Taylor.
Yes, Jack, I think it was intended, although the Spanish defender kind of sold herself by a sort of lunging attempt to cut it out, but failed.
Here's Bobs now. Risk of making an awful pun, bobbing and weaving her way down the right-hand side. I think I'll retire after this game. So, Spain with the ball. And Salvatella down this right-hand side. She's proved a useful outlet for Spain in this second half. Couple of long, mazy runs down the wing.
Yes, the Spanish, are, although they have much less of the possession and pressure, are still on occasions dangerous up front. The missed opportunity there 2 minutes ago down at the South African goal must have left the South African coach mightily relieved.
Tossed and back to Lopez, and Spain will take it along the back line. Damon's trying to put the Spanish defenders under pressure. Plenty of composure. That'll take a first-time ball back out right. It works, and the long ball down the touchline. More in hope than in expectation from the Spanish defender. Lola Riera in that case. So Dietlefs again on the ball. Long blue strapping down the outside of both thighs. This time unable to find her target, and Lopez is able to put the pressure off, but missed control in the centre of defence there by Gutierrez has put her team under pressure. They've got away with it on this occasion. And here's Guinea in the middle, finding space down the right-hand side. Here comes Tost, driving into the box, takes a deflection off a South African stick, and away for the long corner. Good movement that by Spain. Still in possession. And it's Pons in the left corner, under pressure from Shelley Russell. And from Kanita Bobs. And that pressure pays off, and again, Dietlefs of the ball, looking again to be that starting point. She's a sort of metronomic presence at the back of the South African defence, isn't she, Craig? Always looking to start the attacks.
That's right, Jack. But the crucial player there was Maria Tost, who her deflection, deflecting the ball away from the incoming South African, the incoming Spanish player, could actually at the end of the day be one of the most crucial moves of the game.
Spain now one-on-one. It's Magath down the right-hand side. Up against Moraes. Can she get inside? No, she can't. And Moraes is able to relieve the pressure for South Africa. And now Shelley Russell looking to drive down the right to Kotson. Into the centre. Long corner, come back out. They'll have to go again. Again, just as we saw in the first half, Craig. 10, 15 or so minutes into the half, 15 or so minutes, and the game just starting to stretch a little bit. More space for both teams to attack.
Yes, and that move just a second or so ago was a beautiful flowing move up the right-hand side. Opened up the Spanish defence completely, but unfortunately she ran out of pitch.
So Shelley Russell into the middle, and Kathleen Taylor on the ball. Oh, lovely little bit of improvisation there from Salvatella. Just through her legs, took the pressure away, and Spain still with the ball, and Salvatella again looking for space down the left, reverse stick to Guinea. Guinea's in the D. Oh, and she's got the short corner. Well, super bit of play there from Spain, great perseverance to find the spaces, to keep the ball. Let's have a look at that again. And there we see Guinea in the box, looking for the reverse stick, and just a clip off the shins of Shelley Russell and out, and we have a short corner. So another chance for Spain, Craig.
Yes, the South African defender also made quite good use of her body to ease the Spanish forward away from a goal-scoring opportunity.
So Spain now with a chance. Here comes the short corner. And a little bit of a mix-up there. Lola Riera looking to turn on the ball with... Take a reverse stick shot, doesn't come off. And du Plessis has the ball now down the right-hand side, battling with Lopez. Been a feature of this second half.
That was an unfortunate wasted opportunity, penalty corner for Spain there. She tried to turn, and as she did so, the ball just simply came off her foot. Spain can't afford to waste these opportunities if they're going to take the 3 points here.
Chance now for South Africa. And a short corner one. Let's take a look at that incident again. Shot came in, and the Spanish defender doing everything possible to simply throw her body in the way of the ball.
I don't think there was any doubt that that was a penalty corner.
And good play by Evans, though, to win it. She found space, executed a good shot, and she's won her team a short corner here. And it's Evans on the ball now. Murray's waits, traps, and Dietlefs with the shot. Similar move to the one we saw in the first half, Craig.
Yes,
that resulted in the goal.
It was a powerful low shot, but the Spanish goalkeeper really was fairly comfortable with the save.
And South Africa still have the ball. Good touch by Bernadette Costin on the edge of the D, just to create the space there for Terre Blanche to have the shot. Bit of loose play there, and now Spain can come away, and it's Pachami still with the ball. Can she find an outlet? There's an outlet through Pons down this left-hand side. Pons into the middle now, and the turn from Tost. Tossed away. Was she tripped? The umpires say no, play on, and Evans can come away now down the left-hand side for South Africa. Du Plessis in plenty of space in the centre of the pitch there, but Evans head down. Didn't spot her. South Africa now, though, can keep the ball. Reposition. Taryn Bright coming on for Davids. And Dietlefs again at the centre of the South African defence, looking for the opportunity. Outright to Bobbs. Bobbs finds Du Plessis. And now South Africa are attacking down the right again through Terre Blanche. Spain come away with it though. And Bonastra with some delicate skills there. Allows Spain the opportunity to come away. But again, a sort of wasteful drive across the pitch. There was a very ambitious route out of defence, Craig.
It was, and
with plenty of defenders back.
Absolutely. But the game is developing a little bit into South Africa putting the pressure on. It's from time to time it's a bit of a siege around the Spanish circle, but the Spanish on the breakaway are quite capable of sneaking a goal here.
Misunderstanding between Riera and Tost almost allows South Africa the opportunity to get into the D, but they've squandered possession and Spain can come away with it. Ibarra, who's just come back onto the field, and characteristically Spain bring it down the left to Lopez and then Bonastra. Perez and back to Lopez, working the ball around, and there's that high line again. Evans, Duplessis and Damons up, pressing the Spanish defenders. They've found a way out down the left though. And Pachami cutting a rather isolated figure up front for Spain. Craig is unable to control it. And Terblanche coming away down this right-hand side for South Africa, looks frustrated with herself there, apologises to her less than impressed teammate Duplessis, who ruefully shakes her head at the quality of pass, but South Africa have the ball back. Oh, they did have the ball back. And Lopez now can find Pachami, and again Pachami just muscled out of it. They're such a physical team, South Africa.
Yes, they're physically stronger, but the lone Spanish attacks are being really outnumbered by the South African defenders.
Certainly more space appearing across the pitch for both teams. Can Spain find a way out of trouble? Yes, they can. And Riera at the back spreads the ball out wide to Ibarra. Ibarra finds Tost in the middle and back to Ibarra. Just controls it. Now there's space on this left-hand side if she can find it, but she elects to go down the right wing, which very well guarded. Evans does well to keep that, and she's released Celeste Damons, and it's 2v2 at the back now, and that's a rather crude challenge by the Spanish defender. How much she was able to get out the way, I don't know, but Damons still has the ball, tries the reverse stick shot, deflects up off the Spanish stick and away. Nothing called by the umpire. What was your interpretation of that drive by Celeste Damons?
Yeah, she pulled the ball back across the Spanish defender and then sort of collided, but the ball had gone several metres away from her. She had actually lost control of the ball. That's a sort of incident that looks worse than it really is.
It halted a very promising South African attack. And Spain now with the aerial ball forward. Now, this is something we've seen quite a lot, Craig, over the course of this tournament. Explain the law as regards aerial balls in a second, as Spain have a chance. And,
the aerial ball has become a real feature of the game in both men and women's hockey. With the change in the rule where you can stop the ball with your stick above your shoulder. But it's got to be done properly without incurring any danger.
And the law as regards the defending player?
Well, the player who's receiving the ball has got to be allowed to take the ball down. And if it's an attacker and the defender runs towards the attacker, then the foul's against the defender, because it's the defender who's then created the danger by running close to the player receiving the ball.
It's quite a common infringement I've observed over the last few days, that the defensive player gets themselves too close to the receiving player. They concede the free hit, but a lot of that must be quite open to the interpretation of the umpires.
It is, you're right, Jack. But what is important is that the umpire blows it quickly before two players start attempting to play the same ball within close distance. You can imagine what head injuries might result from that. So that is the key factor to prevent danger. But it's a really good tactic if it's done properly, the aerial ball.
I haven't seen a lot of it in this game. Maraña's back on the pitch now for Spain in that right back position. And Ibarra plays the drive up. And there's a chase on for Pachami. Moraes has the best of her though at the moment. And Shelley Russell looking to come away. And does just enough to retain possession for South Africa. There's Russell again. First time ball into the middle. Just wrong foot Bernadette Costin, and Ibarra can drive again at the South African defence. She's found Maraña out on the right hand side. Can Maraña get the ball into the middle? Unfortunately not for Spain. So just 6.5 minutes left in this match. Davids comes off, Terre Blanche back on. Couple of Spanish substitutions as well. Tostin Salvatella on. And Bonastra and Pons taking a break. Magas back on as well. A raft of changes for the Spaniards as they try and find the fresh legs for the final 5 or so minutes of this match. Could you call it at the moment, Craig? Where do you see this going?
It's very difficult. I think it's the old cliche, the next goal could well be the winner. But what could be crucial, of course, is that this is a game not of 11 players but 18, where you have constant substitutions. And the winner could come from one of the fresh legs that comes on as a substitute. But at this minute in time, it's looking increasingly like a 1-1 draw, which is a better result for Spain than it is for South Africa.
If I was a betting man, I would agree with you. Terre Blanche now down the right-hand side finds Sillette Damons. Just backing into Maraña there, but I've been very impressed by Maraña since in the period she's been playing at right back for Spain. Craig, she's a very physical player, which is maybe not something characteristic of the Spaniards.
No, she's had a very good game, and in fact the whole Spanish defence has actually stuck to its task extremely well, as they have done in the previous game, where again they defended extremely well.
Dangerous ball driven in there by Lola Riera. Umpires, both umpires, I believe, blowing simultaneously for that one. There's Riera again to Guinea down this right-hand side. Just a little bit too heavy. And first signs of some tired legs out there. Salvatella just stumbling on her way to try and retrieve that ball. Here's Dietlefs. Goes for the aerial route out to the right to Terre Blanche. Looking for Damons again. Always looking for Damons. Have another opportunity now. Moraes will take the free hit. A lot of space for Bobs out here on the right hand side. Go down the left wing. And as Dirkie Chamberlain's able to pick it up for South Africa, feeds it inside. Can Damons get on the end of it? Up against Maraña in that corner. Oh, and a very deft reverse stick pass by Terre Blanche into the D there, but almost too good for her own teammates, never mind the Spanish defenders.
But it's been quite a while since Spain have actually, it's been quite a while since South Africa have actually had a shot in the circle. And if they're going to win this game, they're going to have to get the ball and players up there.
So Riera on the ball now for Spain. She'll go back and round through Gutierrez and out to Maraña. Still happy to play the ball about. Spain and South Africa sitting just that little bit deeper than they were earlier on in the game. Magath now for Spain, finding Salvatella, but miscontrolled pass. Means it comes back out to Pinheiro this time, and she'll look for Maranya again, giving her an early shout that she was in plenty of space.
The bad news for South Africa is that Spain are looking increasingly comfortable on the ball.
Oh. Just an unkind bounce there off a Spanish stick, deemed dangerous by the umpires as it was lifted into the D, which means the attack breaks down and Spain will have to go back to Gutierrez, Maranya and Riera here at the back to start again. Tossed looking for the ball in the middle, doesn't find her, and South Africa have the ball now. Just 2 minutes left in this match. Can South Africa do something with it? Here's Shelley Russell finding Taryn Bright in the middle. Options, she's looking for options. It's Shelley Russell again, and she drives down this right hand side and cuts inside, and she's found the captain Cox. Reverse stick pass through onto the edge of the D. Dirkie Chamberlain's between the legs, and a great pass through to Davids. Oh, what a save! Oh, and they will get the short corner. My words, what a remarkable stick save by the defender on the line there. She must have thought she'd done enough, but the follow-up by South Africa, there you can see the shot from Davids. There's the stick save by Lola Riera on the line, and then unfortunately all she can do is block the follow-up shot by Kathleen Taylor with her body, which is in fact given the penalty flick. Quite deliberate there, Craig. You can see in the replay, and a goal-bound shot.
Oh yes,
results in the penalty flick for South Africa, which will be taken by the captain, Marsha Cox. The reaction you can see there, the reaction of the South African player. Oh, it's been saved! It's been saved! Lopez in goal for Spain has saved it, and with 1 minute 46 left on the clock, could that be the moment that this win disappears out of South Africa's hands?
Well, it can sometimes take just one incident to turn the fortunes of a game. It was a magnificent attacking move by South Africa. The shot was tremendously saved by the...
I'll just interrupt you there. They're in the D again. There's another opportunity. This time, though, it comes off a South African arm on the ground. And Maranya... Oh, Maranya's given the ball away to Cox. Cox looking for a way into the D. There's space there for Kathleen Taylor. She takes the shot. Good, comfortable hand save by Lopez. And it'll be a long corner to South Africa. South Africa applying all the pressure in these last 2 minutes. Shelley Russell just miscontrols. A minute to go on the clock. Spain looking for a way out. Here's Pinheiro. Pinheiro turns again. This time tackled by Taryn Bright. Strong play, and she's won possession. Cox now looking for space. Blocked off by the Spanish defender. And she'll get the ball back for the free hit. Cox drives the ball into the D. Ibarra fighting so hard. She's shown a lot of physical presence for one so petite, shall we say, wiry. Let's go with wiry, Craig. South Africa, reverse stick ball into the D. It's going to come to nothing, and the clock is going to wind down on this South African performance. Spain now have a one-on-one. Marais at the back for South Africa. She's tackled. And Salvatella plays the ball to Tost. Can she get the return ball? Oh, saved by Van Deventer. Calmly kicked away, and what a dramatic end to this match. It's finished. Spain won, South Africa won, but Craig, there could have been 2 or 3 more goals in that second half.
Certainly in the last 2 minutes. The last 2 minutes of the game were a complete drama. South Africa earned a penalty stroke with a body on the line stopped by a defender. It then resulted in a magnificent save by the Spanish goalkeeper. You can't afford to miss penalties at this level of hockey. And yet at the end there, Spain had a breakaway opportunity and could have sneaked the 3 points. I think overall, however, a draw was probably a fair result.
Yes, 1-1 it finished, and some last gasp defending there by both teams in fair, but particularly Spain. And you saw the reaction of the South African players on the bench when the penalty flick was given, but celebrating the award of a penalty flick is different to celebrating the actual scoring of it. And the captain, you know, stepped up to the plate, but in actual fact a comfortable height for the goalkeeper in the end, as we'll see shortly in the replays. Let's take a look. Only 2 goals to show you, but we can also probably show you the missed penalty flick and the short corner that infringement that preceded it. Let's start with Spain's opener, shall we, and just review the goals from this game. So it was the long ball into the D, Craig, and we'll get the other angle from the camera up here on the camera gantry in a second, which will probably just give us a better view of what happened in the area. But it was Maria Gomez stretching across. Here we go now. The ball deflected into the box. Maria Gomez stretching across, and I think for my money, Craig, that's coming off Kenita Bobbs' stick, and I think she had a fair case there with the umpire. Okay. Anyway, South Africa equalised. It was Dietlevs with the drag, and Kelly Marsden getting the last touch for South Africa. And then, of course, the drama towards the end of that game, as first Spain conceded the penalty flick, and then Marcia Cox missed it, or rather I should say that Lopez in goals for Spain saved it. Let's take a look at that now. Here's it's another chance for South Africa. This was Dietlevs in the second half, just driving the ball into the corner, and Lopez pulling off an outstanding save to deflect that ball wide. Here's the penalty flick from Marcia Cox. And really doesn't find the corner. Comfortable height for the goalkeeper to make the hand save. See it here from the other angle. You know, when you're thinking about technique for those kinds of moments, Craig, you know, what would you be looking for Marcia Cox to be doing there?
At the penalty you're talking about?
Yes.
I think at the penalty, I think you are more likely to be successful either with a low shot that is roughly at backboard level, or putting it high into the net. That was really halfway in between, and was a comfortable height for the goalkeeper, although she still had to make the stop. And I think we've got to give credit to the goalkeeper for A, going the right direction, and B, getting the hand to it. But it was quite interesting to see the South African bench go from celebration at the award of the penalty stroke to complete dismay at the result of the miss.
So Spain and South Africa inseparable, certainly by scoreline today. Let's have a look at what's coming up a little bit later on. So our first game of the day concluded. The next game up is the United States against Ireland in Pool B. And with Spain and South Africa both drawing, a massive opportunity for Ireland and the US to really take advantage, and we'll see how they react when they come out for their match in just over 25 minutes time. Then later on this afternoon, Korea, top of the table in Pool A, take on second place Scotland, who are flying high after a 4-0 win over India. And then the final game of the day, India will take on Belgium. India looking for an opportunity. To record their first win of the Champions Challenge. There's a woman with a blue jacket waving at me frantically from the touchline, and I've absolutely no idea what she's waving at me for. Craig, do you have any idea what's going on touchline?
Like you, I'm completely ignorant. I haven't a clue.
I have absolutely no idea. No idea at all. Anyway, that brings to a conclusion our coverage of this first match in the Women's Champions Challenge. It's finished. Spain 1, South Africa 1. We're going to take a short break for about the next 20 minutes or so. but we'll be back with full live and exclusive coverage of the USA-Ireland. My thanks to Craig Madden for his co-commentary throughout this match. It's been a pleasure as always, Craig, to the production team as well, and of course to all the event partners that make this coverage possible, to Scottish Hockey, Glasgow Life, Event Scotland, NCS, Ginger Grouse, Hero and the Government of Argentina. So we'll see you in about 20 minutes time, but for now, from me, Jack McGill, and everybody here at the International Hockey Centre at Glasgow Green, it's a very chilly good morning.
The best of Scotland is right on your doorstep this year. Hundreds of events are taking place across Scotland to celebrate Homecoming 2014. So you won't have to travel far to find them. Homecoming 2014, a year of brilliant moments right on your doorstep.